there, YouTube!
I'm back!
Yes, this is yet another episode of my car vlog. Since last time I had one main request, and that is to do something for the girls. Well then, ladies, here's Bradley Cooper in his Mercedes G-Class. Actually, it is a G55 V8 to be precise. Is that Bradley Cooper? So let's begin! So today's big hot topic will be driverless cars. The hot topic between futurists throughout the centuries. Yes, by year 2000 you won't be driving cars, Charles will be driving you. Well, that kind of psychology is going on in Russia. The driverless cars has raised huge debates between people, drunk or sober. Is it a good or a bad idea? Should we imply it or not? Well, it could be a good idea if you're a businessman or woman. If you travel a lot and you don't want to pay your terrible chauffeur that crashed your car last week. And that it should provide you a very relaxing drive where you can sleep there in the back seat. Well, that's in theory. Because for practice, it may bring a lot of downsides. For instance, Google released this video quite some time ago, and they were explaining why people should drive driverless cars.
The vehicle is designed to ease traffic congestion and to make driving safer, using a lot of complicated technology that senses speed, direction, distance, weather conditions, traffic, and signals and stop signs, all of which it uses to propel the vehicle down the road without running into anything or breaking the law.
Yeah, the beautiful life when everything goes as planned. Well, it won't. Clearly, the narrator hasn't taken into account the real dangers of real life, or the whole reality in a whole. For instance,
the vehicle is designed to ease traffic congestion and to make driving safer.
Ease traffic congestion? Are you kidding? If you're gonna have more like these cars driving around, I don't think they're gonna ease congestion. They're gonna increase it. Because if you think if a computer drives a car, it's gonna be slower. And slower means bigger traffic jams and obeying the traffic lights. Nobody really does them all the time.
Using a lot of complicated technology.
I wouldn't always rely on complicated technology. If all you guys that believe in this thing saying, yeah, but computers are so developed, well, tell that to Volvo.
Addict. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had some kind of mishap in the testing here.
They tested their safety kit. That basically drives your car if you go around 30 miles an hour. It brings it to a complete stop. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Or tell that to Mercedes. Mercedes tested their radar-guided cruise control and they invited over a TV crew to film it, how it works.
Here's the car, okay, out of the building, into the fog. Guy can see nothing. Look at it! Oh, I just love it when things go wrong for the Germans.
Which it didn't. Oh dear. It is actually a good idea, but the guys have dreamed way too soon. Way too soon. For today's Dash Cam Bash, we have another video coming from Russia. There's this guy in a Volvo 740 or 940 or 960, well, an old Volvo with a turbo, because you can hear turbo whistle. What he does, he takes his car around streets of one Russian city for a spin. And what happens in the end, the police sees him and goes into pursuit. Running away from police? How is it, Mr. Chow?
Ha! Gay!
Yes, it is. Unless you're playing Need for Speed. Or Grand Theft Auto 5 in that matter, because it just came out. Well, in the end, the guy eventually ran away from the police and hid in one of the alleyways. Well, I would understand sometimes you could run from police in Russia. If you would run away from this guy. This is a story from last year when a drug addict stole a police car and decided to take it for a spin. It looks like his trip involved making an impression of Michael Schumacher. In his mind. Luckily, in the end, nobody died. Well, apart from the Ford Focus he drove, which was left completely totaled. As I promised last week, I'm going to do the worst car review every fortnight and the best car review every other fortnight. So this week, let's look at the legend, at the Mercedes 190e 2.3 16-valve. The Mercedes 190e itself was made from 1982 to 1993, and the 2.3 16-valve was the proudest creation of that lot. It had a 2.3-litre 16-valve, as you guessed, Cosworth engine. The initial plan was to take the Mercedes into rallying, so they decided to make a Cosworth engine of around 320 brake horsepower. But the problem was, the Quattro was already there. So the Germans decided to make a gentlemanly move and move on. The engine developed 186 brake horsepower in the road-going version. The Germans thought and thought and thought again and thought, aha, Eureka, we're gonna take it motor racing. We're gonna take it to the DTM, the German Touring Car Championship, where it went mad. And another legendary fact that many guys actually hide was that the Mercedes 190e came before the BMW M3. And then come the big legendary fact. The first one, in August 1983, 3 Mercedes-Benzes were taking around the Nardo test track in Italy, covering 50,000 kilometers to prove cars' bulletproof reliability. And they set up 12 world records, averaging at 247.9 kilometers an hour and at 22 liters per 100 kilometers. And the second legendary fact was, in 1984 inaugural Nürburgring race, along Niki Lauda drove a young chap named Ayrton Senna. Mercedes 190e 2.3 16-valve, I salute you. Thanks for tuning in once again. Again, share it and stay tuned for next week. This was Edgar's from Cars and Fun. I'm out of here.